What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to talk about Gayton MacKenzie, the electrifying, the chutzpah, the new up and coming political powerhouse. They were so prevalent on all social media platforms, but all that has since died away since his ministry was rocked with the 28 million rand scandal when he went to watch the Rugby World Cup. So we're going to get into that and find out why he's gone silent. The Gayton MacKenzie next in the hot seat. You know how we do. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? People, Gayton MacKenzie and his Patriotic Alliance party were touted to be the kingmakers in the last elections, in which they weren't exactly the kingmakers. They were actually the EFF was actually sidelined, right? To be in the government of national unity, and both the ANC and the DA decided to go with the PA instead of the EFF because the EFF are leftist, real leftists, you know. And Gayton is kind of like central left, you know, and the ANC's left, well, the DA is right leaning, you know, radical. They're only not radical, but a lot of people just think that the DA is just radical right, even though they're not right. They're just right wing. They're not radical right. They center right, actually, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. But anyway, so Gayton MacKenzie. Is Gayton MacKenzie possibly a good candidate to lead South Africa? You see, I don't think that Gayton is actually a bad leader because he actually has some good policies. He actually mentions good things that could actually turn South Africa around. I mean, he's done brilliant things within his ministry, to be honest, because, like, while he was the mayor of the Karoo, he didn't take a salary. He used his own personal money to do certain things, which was apparently unlawful. But he said he'd deal with the charges if any charges were brought to him because he needed things to be done sooner. So the red tape was preventing these things to be done. So he decided to use his own money and implemented his own things. So from prisoner, from gangster, gang leader, to political heavyweight, to parliamentarian. I mean, guys, that's not a story that you read every day. You know what I mean? I mean, you learn of political prisoners and political this, but you never really learn about a gangster who turned politician. You know what I mean? But yeah, Gayton did it. Gayton did it. So, people, the story of Gayton MacKenzie. Gayton MacKenzie is a positive, forward-thinking politician who was anti-corruption, was anti-this, he was anti a lot of negative things, right? But then, for some reason, Gayton MacKenzie was caught up in a 28 million rand scandal when he went over to what's the Rugby World Cup finals. Was it in Ireland? Was it in France? I can't remember where, but it was somewhere in Europe. And since that scandal broke, he was not so much on social media anymore. So why is that? The very person who speaks about anti-corruption, anti-this, anti-that, is the very person who himself was caught up in such a huge scandal. 28 million rand is not small change. Trust me, not by any means of them, not by any stretch of the imagination. So, Gayton MacKenzie, is he what he says he is, or was he just putting up a front all along? See, Gayton MacKenzie said he was going to turn the Karoo into the Dubai of Africa. Did he do it? No. Gayton MacKenzie talks about being anti this, anti that. Is he that? Possibly. He sides with Israel. He says there's no genocide happening. And yet clearly the world bodies have said that there is a genocide. So what type of politician is Gayton MacKenzie? Can he be trusted? I don't think so. Does he make empty promises? Of course he does. He's a politician. But then, would Gayton MacKenzie make the type of leader that the country needs? I don't think so. Because one minute he wants foreigners out. Next minute he's saying we are one. So you cannot have a politician who sits on the fence of everything. You cannot have a politician who says yin and yang all in the same sentence. You see, the problem with Gayton MacKenzie is he plays to the gallery and he's trying his best to be a populist. He wants to go with what's popular at the time. He jumps on any bandwagon. And that is a bad thing for a politician. And we do not need leaders like that. So Julius Malema is firm in his convictions. And he doesn't waver. You know, when the EFF lost the election, they thought the numbers were going to grow, but they didn't. He was gutted. He didn't hide it. He showed it. Everybody, Africa at large, actually love Malema's policies. And I think Malema would be, according to the EFF's manifesto, and Malema makes good sense. I mean, Africa needs more leaders like Malema, to be honest. You know, people who mean what they say, who say what they mean. And honestly speaking, I would think that, I don't know about governance per se, but just like the way and the things that Malema says, it makes perfect sense. His delivery may be wrong. His delivery may be militant. The tonality may be wrong. But the message that he puts across, that is, whoa, that is, he's the voice of Africa. Most Africans I speak to actually agree with what Malema talks about and the things he says. But it's maybe the delivery and the way he puts it across that may be wrong. Maybe his accent is another thing that gets the message delivered in a wrong way. But that's his accent. I mean, he cannot change his accent. That's the way he was born. So I don't know what Malema needs to do to be accepted more, but I do believe that his policies are the right policies. Now, the funny thing is this: Gayton MacKenzie and Malema are actually basically on the same side, so to speak. Their policies are basically intertwined. The only major difference that I can really think of is that Malema supports Hamas, whereas Gayton supports Israel. Other than that, most of the policies seem to be leaning towards the same direction. May not be exactly the same, but they would be compatible. I can't see. Gayton doesn't like the DA. Malema doesn't like the DA. But for some reason, Gayton and the DA agree on the Israel issue, which doesn't make sense. But okay, he says there's no genocide because if a terrorist comes, he's going to isolate the terrorist. And okay, I get it. I totally get it. I get it what you're saying when this terrorist comes and does that and that, but you just can't look at one side of a coin and then draw conclusion from that one side. So, Gayton MacKenzie and the 28 million rand scandal. So what exactly happened there? Even he himself couldn't explain, right? He was shocked. He said he needs answers from his department. Now, how, as a minister, how do you go on a trip and you do not know the exact number, the exact pricing, the exact figure, the exact anything? How do you go on a trip totally blind, oblivious to the cost of everything? How? That's just unbelievable. that someone who seems to be as accountable as the way Gayton presented himself to the public is the very person who himself was caught with his pants down. Guys, this is nothing more than corruption at its best. And there's no way Gayton can say that he was unaware of this huge 28 million rand bill. Now, let me tell you straight. People want to use the word alleged. I don't know why they do that. People, if your name is associated with a crime, of all the names in South Africa, why is your name associated with that particular crime? So I will never use the word alleged. No, I won't do that. I don't care what the legal implications are of that. But for me, it's like as long as you were in the vicinity of the crime, as long as you were near the crime, as long as you were inside the crime, over, under, anywhere in and around the crime, you were in part and parcel of that crime. So there's no alleged here. Your name appears. Your department is there. You are there. There's no alleged. Gayton MacKenzie knows exactly where that 28 million rand went to. So we too would like to know about that 28 million rand. Right? Maybe others don't, but we do. Those that are politically inclined would like to know, because our lives revolve around politics. And politics is a part of our lives, whether we like it or not. So when 28 million rand goes missing, I would be thinking, in my community, we desperately need that 28 million rand. So if you could blow 28 million rand on something that we do not even have proof of what you did with it, you could have gladly brought it into our community and upgraded the houses, the buildings, the infrastructure. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's politics for you. Guys, next we get into the pros. No, there's no pros in this one here because this is about Gayton MacKenzie. So, okay, let's get into the pros of Gayton MacKenzie's politics. And yeah, let's see what we get out of there. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holla. People, the pros of Gayton MacKenzie. Number one, Gayton MacKenzie started off as a brilliant public speaker. He even went on to write, is it 2 best-selling books? I know The Hustler's Bible, and I can't remember the second one. Gayton MacKenzie, number 3. Gayton MacKenzie proved to people on the wrong side of the tracks that you could turn your life around and become a role model to others. Gayton MacKenzie went from gangster to politician. That is something to be admired. Number 4, Gayton MacKenzie used his own personal monies to solve some public issues in the Karoo. Number 6, Gayton MacKenzie proved to other politicians that you don't need your government salary if you already have businesses and other sources of income. Because that just shows that you're greedy. You already have more than what your salary is, and you're still wanting your salary. That's just greed. Those are the pros I can think of Gayton MacKenzie. Let's get into the cons of Gayton MacKenzie. People, the cons of Gayton MacKenzie. Number 1, Gayton MacKenzie does not stand on his word. He's exactly what Malema said he was, a flip-flopper, right? Can Gayton MacKenzie be trusted? No. Is Gayton MacKenzie a keeper of his word? No. Is Gayton a classical example of what politicians are? Yes. Is Gayton MacKenzie a liar? Yes. Is Gayton MacKenzie a charlatan? Is that a word to describe a politician, I guess? Because you see, Gayton MacKenzie masquerades as a good um, role model. And yet, Gayton MacKenzie has done the unthinkable. You see, with that 28 million rand scandal that we're talking about, right? Gayton claims not to know anything about it. At least that's the last time I checked. He didn't know anything about it. But my thing is, how do you not know when you are the minister? Surely you have to sign off on things before things go out, right? So there's no way Gayton can say that he does not know anything about it. And everyone would like to know, where is all that dancing and all that he was doing on all social media? Where is it now? I don't see it on my socials anymore. As soon as I put on my socials, he was all over the socials. Where is Gayton now? I don't see him anywhere. He's gone quiet. He's basically like he's gone underground. Why is that? Gayton MacKenzie, where are you? Come out and reveal yourself and explain to us what happened with that 28 million rand. That's my video for today, guys. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Coming to you from my bunker. Yeah, man, this is bomb proof, man. Don't play with me now. Holla.